Hi, everybody, and welcome to Intercultural Communication for 2018 here at Cornerstone Institute. Now, I am unfortunately not able to be with you in person today, but I will be from next week, and I'm looking forward to getting to know each of you a little bit better as the weeks go by. But for now, this video is going to have to suffice, and in many ways, it's quite appropriate because what we'll be talking about this semester is communication in its various forms. We find people are communicating all the time, not just face-to-face, but of course over SMS and texting and WhatsApp and email and all kinds of virtual conversations happening. And we're going to be exploring those. We're going to be talking about the different ways in which we communicate, but also how we can communicate better effectively cross-culturally and interculturally. And these are some nuances that we'll be exploring during the course of this semester. One of the most important things I think for us as South Africans in this course is that it gives us the opportunity to explore some of the deep, sometimes hidden values that we have as people. We don't always know some of the things that we hold to as values and some of the stereotypes that we hold for and against other people. And those become more face-to-face with us. We become exposed to them the more we actually have interactions with someone who's other than us. And so during the course of this semester, you're going to have a great opportunity to do that, not only in class, but also through the assignments and work that we have together to do. So I'm really looking forward to it. I know I'm biased, but I suppose I believe that this is one of the most foundational classes that you're going to have at Cornerstone. And my true hope is that you're going to be able to take some of the understandings from this class, some of the skills that hopefully you're going to learn over the next several weeks and apply them to the rest of your program, but also the rest of life. Our ability to communicate effectively across cultures is probably going to be one of the most important determining factors for your success. So think about that for a moment. All of us, we want to be successful. We want to do well at the things that we feel we need to do in life, whether it's a sense of calling, or whether it's a sense of a career path or a determination that we have to achieve something in life. Our ability to be successful is not entirely dependent on you, in the sense that you're going to have to be engaging with people all around you. You're going to have to be engaging with your community, with your customers, with your clients, your constituents, your employees, and so the list goes on. You're going to be engaging with people who are just not the same as you. And your ability to engage with them not only to get the job done, but in a way that enhances mutual understanding. And in so doing, we actually become better products as a result of that, I think is very, very important. So we'll be talking a lot about that. I'll be harping on a lot at you about that over the next several weeks. And my goal is that you will enjoy some of these conversations that we have and that you'll actually feel that this is really beneficial for you. It's not just about taking a class that I have to take because somebody told me to and it's part of the program, and if I want to get my degree, I have to go and endure this class for several weeks. I guess I would challenge you to say if that's the attitude that you start with, then I think it's going to be very difficult as the weeks go by. Whether you're taking the class online or on campus, there's going to be challenges that you're going to struggle through if you're really just doing this to complete the task. Having said that, let me talk you through our syllabus a little bit, because I think it's important that you know exactly where we're going as we start off here. So I want you to see from our syllabus, this is our class. It varies a little bit for the online students, but this is the on-campus version. You will have a copy of this, of course, on Funda, and I want to encourage you to look at the syllabus, to read the syllabus, and to understand the syllabus, because this really is our roadmap. If you know what this module outline is saying to you and what you're being asked to do, then it really should alleviate a lot of the questions that you have. Many times in the first couple of weeks of class, students have lots of queries. When is this due? What do I have to read? What's going on? Why am I here? And the module outline will help you a long way with that, is just by giving you very clear indicators of when things are due, why we're doing them, and what is actually being required of you. So those are the outcomes, which I'll let you read through on your own because you can read, and we'll come back to those throughout the semester. I want to focus you for a few minutes on your readings as well as your assignments, because I know that's often what we look at first, is what am I supposed to do in this class? As you'll see, there are a number of readings that you'll be doing. These will all be supplied to you through the Funda space, so don't worry about having to buy a specific book or anything like that. And as you'll notice, these are all, predominantly journal articles that you'll be asked to read from various different perspectives and walks of life. And I've deliberately created a reading list for you that is quite internationalized, because intercultural communication is not just something that's local and central for us in South Africa. It's something that we need to be able to take globally. So who knows where you might end up one day. You might end up working for some corporation in China, India, or somewhere else, and your ability to interact with people there is going to be crucial. So we want to prepare you through some of the readings. So the schedule is quite straightforward. You'll see we'll start in earnest next week with the lectures, and for the online students, you start this week with some of your assignments. And the readings are there, so the requirement is that you would read those readings during the week of class. So for the 20th of February, for example, after the 20th of February, you will be reading those 2 readings. And before the next week starts, you'll take a test on that, okay? And then it goes on from there. And you'll see the dates are set for you in Funda. As we go on through the semester, you'll notice that there are some other things that are due, and I'll talk you through those now. So quickly back to the reading tests. You will have a number of those throughout the semester. They're worth a certain amount of your grade. And these tests are required for you to take on Funda. You have a certain amount of time to take the tests. And my encouragement to you, as it always is, at the start of every semester, is don't wait until 11:05 to start working on the test on the day it's due. I know we often like to do things at the last minute, but all kinds of things can happen. Your internet can cut out, something can come up at the last minute, and then all of a sudden you're not able to take the test. There will not be opportunities for you to take the test after the time. It is a cutoff time. So my encouragement to you is to go ahead and try and take the test a couple of days before you actually it's due, or even earlier in the day that it's due, so that if there are any issues with your internet connectivity, you can sort those out before it's actually due. But it's important to pay attention to those dates. One of the big pieces of this course is for you to complete what we call a cultural evaluation profile. And this is going to be done in 2 different parts. Based on the lectures that you'll be participating in, and based on some of the reading that you're doing, you're going to prepare this profile. Now, the first part of that profile is simply for you to think about yourself, your own history, what you bring to the table, if you will. It's kind of like a biography, letting us know, and in a sense, letting yourself know by articulating it, the things that make you the person that you are today. What is your story? What has shaped you as a person? What are some of the family and heritage issues that are passed down to you, whether they be things that you like or appreciate or things that you don't? That's all part of the story. And at the same time, to begin to acknowledge what are some of the biases that you hold. We'll be talking quite a bit about bias this semester. And we all have biases. We all have these stories that we tell ourselves about other people that may or may not actually be true, or they may be true to a certain degree. And so our ability to actually evaluate the biases that we hold and be open to those things changing is very, very crucial. So you're going to be writing that paper. Before you do that, you'll notice that there's 2 readings that we'd like you to complete before that time. One of them is Cultural Intelligence, the Essential Intelligence for 21st Century, and the work on intercultural competence. I want you to read both of those before you begin that assignment, not because you're going to take a test on those, but because they'll definitely help you as you write this story. And then the second part, of course, is going to be your value systems analysis, which we will discuss throughout the semester, how each of us have certain values that we hold to, which are often based upon our own culture and to a certain degree our own personalities, as compared then to other people. So you first need to understand yourself and what your norms are, if you like, and then you need to compare that and contrast that to other people around you and consider in what ways might you need to adapt and how to grow in your competence. So you combine both of those papers, that's where you get the total length of 8 pages that is due for that assignment. So first part will be due in April, the second part will be due in May, but combined they will form one grade. And then for the on-campus students as well as the online students, or the on-campus students, you're going to work as a group. Online students is an individual. But you will be doing a presentation. And depending on our class size, which we'll figure out in the next couple of weeks here, you will be grouping yourselves together in a group presentation that you will present on the last day of class. Now, for those of you that are online, you'll do this via video, which is also an option for the on-campus students if you want. But you will work on this together, figure out a presentation that you can do that has a basis in one of the topics that we're discussing throughout the semester. So you're not going to figure that out now in the next couple of weeks, but certainly about 6 or 7 weeks into class, you'll probably have a good idea about the topic and the group that you want to belong to and be a part of. And that is going to be a big part of your final grade as well. So you can look at that. Also, make sure you look at the ground rules. There are some very important ground rules here that are institutionally prescribed, Cornerstone. These are things that are true regardless of what class you're taking. It's not something that I specifically am mandating that you do or don't do. These are things that are required if you're part of the Cornerstone community. So make sure that you take a look at those ground rules so that we're all on the same page as far as that goes. So hopefully that's been a little bit of a help to you. Again, read the module outline on your own. Once again, make sure you understand things. You can always shoot me an email, or if we can chat in class as well, if there are things that you don't understand or things that are not clear to you. One of the final things that I want to share with you today is that it's very, very important that you attend class. It should go without saying, I suppose. But very often we look at the schedule and we look at our own lives and we think, well, how can I perhaps miss a few lectures here and there? This is not necessarily dealing with some of the difficulties that we encounter at times with getting to class. So it's one thing to try and get to class and not get there. It's another thing to just not bother. And I want to make sure that you understand that it's very important that you attend class, because we want you to be engaged in the process. If you do miss class, you're also missing the learning opportunity that you would have had while you were there. I'm not someone who gives reams and reams of notes for people to copy down. Very often, that's up to you to figure out what notes you want to take. There will be part of the quizzes is going to be based on our lecture time together and on our discussions that we have. It'll be very difficult to answer those questions in the quiz if you weren't there. So I want to emphasize to you for a number of reasons. It's important to be in class and be engaged in the process. And after all, somebody, maybe it's you, maybe it's a parent or somebody else, is paying for you to be at Cornerstone, paying for you to take these classes. So if not for yourself, do it for the people that are actually taking the responsibility to pay for these classes, for you to be engaged in what's going on. And I promise you, if you do so, there'll be some key takeaways for you that I think will very much help you in your future, your studies as well as your future in general. So that's all for me. I'm going to hand it back to the crew there, and I also want you to take some time to review this video as well so that you can be familiarized with what's required. And for both on-campus and online students, I wish you the very best as we get started here, and I look forward to interacting with you in the weeks ahead. Bye for now.